here. Love seeing you. I'm Natalie. This is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the Scientology news that has the internet buzzing. We touch on my 35 years in Scientology, leaving with 3 generations of my family. And throughout the week, I am going to get busy doing some interviews again. So when you hit subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell as well, so you get those notifications. And everybody who's here now, go over and smash that like button for me to help us get out even more notifications. First off, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I celebrate Mother's Day the week after. So I will be seeing my kids next weekend. And it's a tradition we started years ago. Actually, honestly, how this started is because after my mom passed away, the timing of when we were going to scatter her ashes back in Hawaii was around Mother's Day. And at the time, thought it would be a great day to do it on Mother's Day. It was not. Only because it kind of ruined Mother's Day for me after that. So I moved Mother's Day to the week afterwards with my kids. And that way too, because I have 3 kids, but 2 of them are daughters who are moms. They could celebrate Mother's Day, right, how they wanted to, and we would all celebrate together the week afterwards. And we've done that for, oh gosh, years now. And it's worked out really well. Really well. That way too, if we want to do brunch or something, there's not long lines. We do that on other holidays too. We do that. We celebrate the day after Thanksgiving for that same reason. I've never wanted my kids to feel like they need to go here and then go there. So we actually try that often. The only one we do close to on the day is Christmas Eve. That's the only one, the only holiday where I've told my kids that I want together is Christmas Eve, because it's one of the very few traditions that we had with my mom. And so we do continue to do that. But otherwise, birthdays, everything else, I'm like, we can celebrate it whenever, because what's important is that we get together and we spend time together. So yeah, I really digress there. But everybody, as per usual, we have a lot to talk about. Lots going on. Let's see here. I'm just thinking, I'm going to show you something that just had me dying laughing. I was laughing so hard. I like to kick it off with a little funny if we can. And oh my goodness, this cracked me up. This is, where was this from? This is called Good Morning OSA. Some of you may have seen it. It's from Robots Make Music. Just laughing thinking about it. Oh God, I'm such a dork. Okay, let's take a look at this. You guys tell me what you think. Tell me in the comments if you are catching this on the replay. No slacking. You go ahead and jump in there too and tell me what you think. Again, this is Robots Make Music. Good morning, OSA.
Good morning, OSA. It's a wonderful day. And did you know it's okay to be gay?
Now for some mental images, you'll have to bring up in session Miscavige, little booty shorts, twerking on the freeway sport. But you know you're not to call him Dave. Good morning, OSA.
He's 1 on the tone scale,
40 on the bone scale.
Dave, it's okay. You're allowed to be gay. While the Office of Special Affairs is working, he keeps Scientology twerking. You know what they say about sailors, right?
I love the curious at the end. And if you know anything about Scientology, you know that they are definitely homophobic, regardless of what they say, because L. Ron Hubbard said in Dianetics repeatedly, and Science for Survival and multiple other places, that it was not okay to be gay. In fact, during my time in the Sea Organization, I knew of at least, right off the top of my head, 3 other Sea Org members who were punished because they had feelings and acted on those feelings with somebody of the same sex. So it is definitely not something that the Sea Org is down with in Scientology. So wasn't that a good one? I thought it was just so creative. You know, I love the music. You know, I love the music. I love the little ditties there. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's see here. Surrounded by Scientology. Hey, George. Good to see you here. Thank you for being a member for 2 months as well. Hey, Natalie, hope all is well for you and Tony. Miss you guys, and we need to plan your next visit. I'll listen to your update while riding my bike. Yes, so when I was in Clearwater, George, who's surrounded by Scientology, showed me his bike route, and it blew my mind. It's far. It's far. From where he is, but it is a beautiful ride. So have that beautiful ride there, George. Great to hear from you. All right, now let's jump over to, did you guys catch Confident Chris? He was just on fire. For those who might not know, here as YouTube creators, we work with moderators who are beautiful enough to volunteer their time. Big thank you to my moderators. Nancy's here today. Dip Me in Glitter is here. And I think that's what we got right now. But big thank you to you guys. Well, Confident Chris did a video to help moderators on some rules for modding. If you jump into different chats, you'll see different moderators, and some chats have pretty much kind of they follow a flow, right? Depends on the channel and that creator. And I thought this was hilarious as well and helpful, but that Confident Chris did a video on how to mod a chat. Chapter 1, Lesson 1.
All right, guys, so I'm sure you guys could tell by the name in the title of the video, but this is our chapter 1, lesson 1, rules for mods. So I know you guys been really confused. I know you guys know that there's no tutorial out there, so that's why I had to come up with one very quickly. So here are the rules for mods. You know, as mods, as a streamer, as a chat, you know, you want the chat to be free. And what this means is that, you know, the people that are streaming are having a good time, the people that are watching, and of course the mods also. But there gotta be rules, just like everything. There's rules for that too. I know it looks like a mess, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here to explain all these things. So, rule number 1, don't do anything that the streamer wouldn't do. That goes for all the mods. Example, timing people out for.
So he goes on to explain the rules. Links down below to all the videos that we're talking about, so you can go watch the whole thing. Whether you are a moderator on a channel or not, I think you would enjoy it and learn a bit more about what the moderators do, because they do quite a bit. They definitely keep those wheels greased and keep an eye on the chat, which helps. I know for myself, doing a live show, having moderators helps so that I can focus more on you guys and what we're talking about while they monitor the chat and help start questions and things like that. I love that. I love when he does stuff like that. Now, Suppressive Dave loves Declare Dave loves Suppressive Sherry. That is the name of a channel here on YouTube. And Dave did a video. Actually, he's done several of these, really focusing on some key pieces of Scientology history, which can really fill you in on so much of the reasons of why we're doing this. And he was focusing on Paulette Cooper, who back in the day in the 70s was a woman who was relentlessly harassed by Scientology. She wrote a book about Scientology. Her story is one of the best and one of the worst, I guess is the best way to say it. What she went through was absolutely horrific. And that's why any opportunity to bring it up and share her story and raise awareness about it and remind people of exactly who we're dealing with, I think is a good idea. And so Dave was covering this. Now, for those who don't know, I'll just give you a little bit of backstory. Paulette Cooper, Scientology targeted her because she was a critic of Scientology. They had a whole plan, a program written out to nullify her, to shut her up, to get her locked up. And Dave goes over that program in this video, which is really interesting. And we're just going to take a peek at part of it.
Okay, to get PC Paulette Cooper incarcerated in a mental institution or jail, or at least to hit her so hard that she drops her attacks. So that's our target. Primary target. So you got a major target. Now they've got a primary target. Primary target, US B1 NE SEO, working in liaison with Ops Nat if needed.
Now these abbreviations he didn't know and I didn't even know. USB1, so I think that's United States B1 NE SEO. Somebody tell me in the chat if you know any ex-Sea Org or ex-Scientologists who happen to know what that is. USB1 NE SEO, working in liaison with Ops Nat. Now, Ops is usually operations. I don't know if Nat isn't short for national. You know, Scientology loves their abbreviations and codes. But he goes on to explain how this, and this is the actual program, you guys. It's called Operation Freakout. You can see it. And as he said, the major target, so their main objective is to get Paulette Cooper incarcerated in a mental institution or jail, or at least to hit her so hard that she drops her attacks. Yeah. They haven't changed their playbook too much because remember, everything that Scientology does and that they are doing is based on what L. Ron Hubbard said. L. Ron Hubbard said this is how you handle somebody attacking Scientology. Not have a conversation, not find out what went wrong and what can we do to remedy the situation, not correct internally the abuses. No, it's attack the victim. Make them seem crazy, get them locked up, expose their all these crimes. Because in Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard says if somebody's critical to Scientology, they have crimes. You just need to find them. It's ridiculous. It is. But we know that that's what they are still doing. Interesting nonetheless. And if you are new to this, if you are new to the concept of fair game in Scientology, and even if you're not, go check out the whole video because he did a great job with it. And it's an important part of Scientology history because, like I said, their playbook doesn't change on account of the fact that they have to do what L. Ron Hubbard said to Scientologists, especially in the Sea organization, and then their staff members. The higher you go up, you got your regular, everyday public Scientologists, then you've got your staff members, then you have your Sea Org members, and then you have higher levels within the Sea Org. And the higher you go up, the worse the abuses get, the crazier and more insane and desperate things get on account of the abuses within the Sea organization that drives people to do this, to behave in this way. So I'm glad that he's covering this. Now, if that did not scare you, this might. Actually, it's not scary. I am obsessed. I listened to this last night. It was so great. I made myself a cup of chamomile tea. It's getting warmer here in Minnesota, so I had the windows thrown open. And I listened to what I'm going to share a clip of while I was listening to also the frogs outside. And like I said, enjoying my tea. And this is Sins of Scientology. If you like true crime and you like Scientology news and drama, this is it. They're bringing together both things, true crime and Scientology drama. And I thought it was so well done. The first episode just dropped. This is, look at this, The Sins of Scientology, a true crime series. Children can't consent, disconnection, abuse. It's a cult. Listen to this. We're just going to listen to the beginning.
Imagine this: a tale of kidnapping, a wife imprisoned, a trail of failed marriages, and children left behind. Picture dramatic showdowns and a twilight spent in seclusion, weaving a legacy laced with secrets and riddles unanswered. What if this wasn't just fiction, but the life of a man revered by some and reviled by others? Welcome to the Sins of Scientology. My name is Sandy McKenna, and along with Abraham Ulrich, in this episode, we'll dive deep into the life of L. Ron Hubbard, the man behind the mystery. His life story reads like one of the most complex of novels, blending ambitions, controversy, and mystery into a legacy that continues to captivate and divide the world.
Oh, I got goosebumps just listening to that again. It was so good. I just hope that there's going to be more than one a week. I don't know how often. Maybe Sandy McKenna, if you're here in the chat, you can tell us how often you can be dropping these videos because I'm going to need more. Just well done. I love when my favorite things get combined, like taking a bath and eating popcorn. Stuff, just combine the things that you enjoy. And the fact that this channel is doing this with true crime and Scientology has me so excited. I can hardly stand it. I absolutely love it. Sins of Scientology. Go over there and subscribe. You can do it real quick and then get right back here because we have so much more to talk about. But I absolutely love, love, love. It's so great. Okay, so I think we got some people coming over here from Marilyn's channel. Is that what you're telling me, Nancy? Thank you so much. Everybody coming over and rating us from Marilyn's channel. Absolutely love that. Welcome. We are just getting into some stuff. Okay, so that's Sins of Scientology. You're going to want to check that out. I'm obsessed. And Sandy, you guys got to do more than one a week. I know I'm putting pressure on you, but it's that good. Laura FM, hey girl, good to see you. Oh, here we go. Okay, good. Sins of Scientology is here. Where'd they go? Where'd you go? Yep, you are absolutely welcome. More. We want more. Oh gosh, it was so good. All right, let's see. Moving on. Down the rabbit hole news. Found something that I had not seen or heard of, and it kind of blew my mind. And I think it's very interesting. Now, many of you are familiar because we've been talking about it on the channel on and off with the case with Brian Kent, disgraced lawyer Brian Kent, former board member on Child USA, Brian Kent, former partner in that like Laffy whatever law firm that he was in, who there was a complaint filed against him for an inappropriate, I mean, that's putting it lightly, relationship with a victim of Scientology and actually getting in the way of helping these victims of Scientology. Check this out, you guys. Down the Rabbit Hole News shared a blog post from, what was it from here? It was from a Catholic Church blog with concerns about Brian Kent. And I find this so fascinating that they covered it. Let's take a little peek at what she says and then talk about it.
A blog that I want to talk about real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the Catholics for a Change. So it's the Catholic Church. All right. And they wrote an article on the 29th of April regarding Brian Kent. So survivor's lawyer accused of shocking misconduct as a victim of sex abuse. Brian Kent naturally gained the trust of other survivors, becoming a go-to lawyer for their personal injury cases. The former Montgomery County PA prosecutor served on the board of Child USA, a think tank combating child abuse, and received the National Center on Sexual Exploitation Civilian Leadership Award. His personal and professional background makes recent allegations all the more shocking.
Then they really get into it. Listen to this.
A leaked confidential complaint filed with the disciplinary board of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court in November of 2022 accused Bryant of engaging in sexual relations with the client. This behavior violates the rules of professional conduct for PA lawyers, and especially egregious given his client vulnerability as a victim of sexual abuse.
This blew my mind. Link down below so you can watch her whole video. Totally worth it. Down the Rabbit Hole News. I just love how she just brings it and brings the receipts. And I also love and appreciate that word is getting out about this guy in this situation. And my hope is that this sends a message to anybody that dares to violate, again, a victim of any type of abuse, right? We're specifically talking about victims of Scientology. This is, I'm glad they're calling them out, other people as well. And it's going to continue. It is absolutely going to continue. So I'm glad she's ringing the bell on that. All right, let's take a look at, so this is we're going to look at a short that was put together and a few people have sent to me. And I want to know what you guys think about this. The question is there a lot of men in Scientology who have a nasally higher pitched voice? This person put this together and thought that there was, based on a few examples. And I don't know. I know of a few, but I I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about it. So let's just take a look at this, then chat about it.
Are suppressive acts toward the church, whether you're a Scientologist or whether you're not a Scientologist.
So I am a Scientologist.
Okay, explain that.
Yes. So when I came here, I was really, really shy, very shy.
Okay, awesome.
I have a quick question.
Do
you need to have like your hat and your glasses on?
No, I don't. Do you want me to take them off?
Yeah.
Okay.
That from the beginning, you know, we just get in the studio, me and him get in the studio, and I write, and then I'll show him stuff. I'll record it. I'll show him stuff.
You know, what do you make of that?
I think it's easy for a religion like that to get a bad rap because it's so sensationalized and people want to get clicks and people want to sell magazines at the end of the day.
Those things are...
I don't know. I mean, a few, but is it any more than the public in general? I honestly don't know. But you guys tell me what you think. But it was interesting nonetheless. I always find it interesting when, when people try to find commonalities. And so I thought we'd take a look at that. Liz Ferris, thank you so much for making it rain Scientology Life After a Cult memberships. You got to be wrapping up probably in Austin. Liz Ferris has been in Austin for Pearl Fest with, of course, Pearl Snappy. Laura FM has been there too. And Lori Plays, Cheryl Farrell on the Loose, a bunch of people. I don't know if you guys have headed home yet or you're still going to be out there. Regardless, I'll be keeping an eye out for whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Okay, so let's look at a clip from YOUTOLOGY. YOUTOLOGY is a great channel here on YouTube that puts together a lot of different things that happen in the world of protest and Scientology news in a way that's just killer. I like it. As the young people would say, it's fire. And for people my age, that's fire is a good thing now. Fire is a good thing now. Selfless Self was there too in Austin. That's right. Thank you for the reminder there, Jeanette. Whole bunch of people. I know I'm missing some because there were quite a bit. But let's look at this clip from YOUTOLOGY, which goes over what happened the other day when we covered this yesterday when DOA was in on L. Ron Hubbard Way there, and he was cooking for the community. And there were 4 questionable gentlemen, one who's already been identified as a Scientology operative, comes out and this guy knocks over the tables. You guys know what happened. We're going to look at it with YOUTOLOGY, but I'm glad that they put this together. Hey, Lou Rapetto, good to see you there. Eric Rader, welcome. All right. Oh, Marilyn, thank you so much for sending your people over. So beautiful to see you here. Okay, so YOUTOLOGY, check this out.
Here come 4 Scientology friends, and they are up to no good. They get food and drinks from Scientology, then the 3 of them position themselves. One of them comes and knocks over the grill and the table. Then they are called back and disappear into the Scientology building. Back to the beginning of the story, DOA prepares food. Anyone who wants to eat is invited. When helping others becomes a trigger for aggression, we all need to pay attention. Since when is it okay to use violence to intimidate protesters for preparing food for the homeless and the community in general? We all know that DOA is a thorn in Scientology's side. Since Sean Ingalina has been in town, the attacks on Scientology protesters have intensified. One of Scientology's policies is never defend, always attack. This is exactly what we have seen in the last few days and today. Here come
How about that? You got to go see the whole video. It was fantastic. And I just love the way that YOUTOLOGY puts the stuff together, right? I just love it. And sounds like based on the chat here, you guys love it as well. I find it very helpful. Now, going on in, I think it's in Portland. We're going to take a little look at this. I'm hoping somebody does some content on it and shares more about it. The Safe Portland was going on. It's a conference. Have you ever been a part of a cult, high control group, or relationship? You're not alone. They hosted a one-day conference on May 11th. They're in Portland, and it was a conference for survivors and helping professionals as well. And it was sponsored by the Spiritual Abuse Forum for Education. And it sounds like they have regular meetups in Portland. And conference co-sponsors, some you'll see that are familiar. The Aftermath Foundation, along with the SPTV Foundation, were co-sponsors of this event as well. And I know there's a bunch of people from the community that went. I want to connect with them and find out more about it and how that went. But I just wanted to get it on your guys' radar too. So I don't forget to bring more news about that. So Nancy, we got to remember that. You know, news, things happen so fast every day when it comes to Scientology that I have a list of things that I want to follow up on and kind of check back on. And if there's anything like that you guys ever want to follow up on, let me know and we'll do our best as well to do that. Okay, someone said Nora was going. I think Liz Gale went. I thought I saw Liz Gale in a photo. But yes, we'll have more news coming about that, but I found it very interesting. Okay, good. So Marilyn's saying Nora and Liz Gale were there. Fabulous. Then I can talk to both of them. That's fantastic. Meanwhile, over at the Blue Buildings on L. Ron Hubbard Way, they were getting set up for the big Dianetics event. So May 9th was the anniversary of the release of Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health. The May 9th event, as it's called in Scientology, though it's not held on May 9th, it's always held on the Saturday, which was yesterday. It is one of Scientology's propaganda events. You guys know how they roll. They put together these events a few times a year, and they share their propaganda about how they're doing this or they're doing that, and things are straight up and vertical, and Scientology is expanding like never before. It's like, all right. But let's take a look at this. MD Media 18 was out there and had a conversation with the police right off the bat in the morning regarding the permit. They got a permit for this event. Interesting, because Jessica PALMADESSA sure did have a hard time trying to get a permit for the same street. But Scientology definitely seems to have no problem getting their permits, no matter how last minute it is as well. And just because the road is named L. Ron Hubbard Way does not mean that they own it.
How long we got? I heard we shut down the street.
Well, it's already shut down.
Oh, it is? Yeah. I'm sorry. We'll get out of here.
No worries.
Can I see that permit? Would you mind? Please. It's for the street closure. Sunset. Now, what about, can we park on Sunset?
Full street closure, L. Ron Hubbard. Okay. Sunset to Fountain.
Okay. Hard closure.
That's L. Ron Hubbard, Sunset to Fountain. Okay. That's the sidewalk. That's the west sidewalk. And that's the sidewalk
that we're on
you're
right now.
Okay.
Exactly. So that one I can walk back and forth?
So you're not supposed to be on this sidewalk.
Okay.
Okay. Hard closure, south sidewalk, Sunset and Catalina.
Okay.
Sunset Boulevard. Okay. So that's right in front. You're not supposed to be in the front.
Okay.
Okay.
So they go over the permit. This is where you can be. This is where you cannot be. And then the police that I'm assuming are doing overtime for Scientology all file into the building. They're getting their marching orders there.
There's Sean over there with Jennifer. Sean has the glasses on.
Is that Sean? Did he get a haircut? Is that Sean Angelina? Can you guys tell me in the chat? Tell me in the comments if you're catching this on the replay. No slacking. Jump on in there. We just got a glimpse, but if that was him, he got a haircut. I think it looked a lot shorter. But, you know, going in. So they're getting set up for the big event, their big May 9th event. Okay, so MD Media saying, yes, it was Sean. Okay, did he get a haircut? It just looked different. But it was far away too, and a little blurry. But you were there, so there you go. Okay, now, so again, this was the Dianetics anniversary Dually Dad deal. And so, of course, Scientologists come in and then they need other parking in other places. And Jessica PALMADESSA was just there trying to help and bring in the fun. She wanted to charge people as they left $5 to leave. She was just having some fun with it. Check it out.
Listen, I work for you guys. Okay? I'm here. I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to collect tips at the door. $5 from each car that leaves. All right, that'll be $5 to exit, sir. That'll be $5 to exit. Ma'am, I'm going to send you a ticket. It's $5 to exit. Oh my God. Chris, make sure you collect the $5 exit fee. Oh, what?
So they're just out there having fun with it as per usual. And as the evening went on, Jessica PALMADESSA had a conversation with, I believe it's somebody from law enforcement. I think this is a police officer about, you know, why they are there, which it's always when you have an opportunity to help someone, especially somebody genuinely curious to understand why the protesters are there and why this is happening. It's such a great opportunity. And Jessica did that.
And what's the purpose? Like, do you know people that are
Yes.
in there?
Well, I know, we know tons of people that were kids that grew up in there and have since left and told their stories of all the abuse that they encountered in there and stuff. So our goal, I mean, was originally to shut down the recruiting center, which I'm sure if you've seen on Hollywood Boulevard, it's been shut down for 3 months. So now the goal over here, I mean, they hide inside. So that's step one, I guess. Step two, make sure the whole world knows that they're cool.
Well, yeah, and every time, whenever there's no event or so, they always like hide from us. So we've gotten videos in here that, you know, the security will come and take one of the members back inside and so. So, yeah, we've already gotten. Yesterday, somebody attacked, parked inside, attacked somebody who was having a barbecue outside just for everybody to eat.
And they go on to explain to her the attack that was on DOA when he was trying to feed the community. Laura Estrada, hip, hip, hooray. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Absolutely appreciate that support. All right, so here's the deal. Here is the deal. Declared Dave loves suppressive Sherry saying, a cop willing to listen. Say it isn't so, Joe. Got to take the wins where you can get them, you know, just reaching. This is really about reaching individuals. It's when you have the opportunity to talk to people one-on-one. It's so impactful. It really is. Eat more pizza now. Thank you for that. Miss Natalie is the boss. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Definitely don't feel like the boss. I feel like I'm the biggest fangirl of this community. And so I talk about it every day. All right, so let's take a look. Speaking of this big Dianetics event, right? Scientology's May 9th anniversary Dianetics propaganda event. Let's take a little look. And I think this is from JDSA from his stream. Yes, it is. We're going to take a little look at what was happening there. I wonder if this was from on top of his truck where he can see up high, because he had a really good vantage point there. But there were a couple things really interesting about this that stood out. Let's take a look at this, okay? So this is over by the blue buildings, you know, where they went and they blocked everything off with those giant greenery, fake green fences. Look at this, sign in, sign in, sign in. So you have to sign in to go to this event. That's not the norm. At least it wasn't back in my day. We just went in, but I can see why they'd want you to sign in, because they don't want anyone in there that has nothing to do with them. The other interesting point here is, you know how they love to stand up with the hip hip hoorays and the clapping and all that? It's like they're being signaled when to stop, because they go, 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 clap, 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 and all that. And the lights will dim. And then that is when they sit down. Did you see that there? That's new too. Back in my day, we just clap, clap, clapped. You know, it was kind of a tough thing because as a Scientologist, you don't want to be the first one to stop clapping, especially if you're a SEERG member and if like David Miscavige is up there. So you're all clapping and you kind of want it to stop. So you try to slow the clap down because you're tired of standing. But now they're using lights to signal, it seems like. When the lights are bright, stay up there and don't stop clapping, which makes me wonder, have people stopped clapping sooner at these propaganda events and now they have to cue the audience? Keep clapping until we dim the lights. When we dim the lights, you may all sit. I don't know. It looks like it. It looks like it. And I think Lisa Pete's calling it out here. Sounds like North Korea, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah, it does. You notice that too? Astroflux says they use clapping soundtracks too. Oh, I bet. I bet. I wouldn't put it past him at all. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. And this went on a few times. You could see it each time, stand up, clap, 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 clap. Nobody stops until the lights go dim. And you have to sign in, sign in, sign in, sign in. Like big giant signs, 3 of them. Neuropsych says they'll be using a laugh track soon. Oh, wouldn't it be? General Boa says, it looks so fake. Yeah, that's kind of why the tie is often made between Scientology and North Korea, because Scientology will prop things up to make it look like it's that way. And at their propaganda events, what they're doing is sharing a lot of, they pick certain things out where they set up like, oh, Foundation for a Drug-Free World did this, or the volunteer ministers did this. This is where your money's going. Now at the Dianetics event, they tend to lean on book sales of Dianetics, right? Which have been, I can only imagine, are in the toilet. I wonder if there's a way to actually find out. Anybody know? Is there a way to find out like how many books have sold? Now they sell them within the organization. It's not like it's over at Barnes and Noble. I mean, it might be, but I just wonder about that. I wonder about that. Justine says that footage from Jay was awesome. You could almost see faces. I wonder if celebs were there. There might have been some. They tend to show up. They tend to be made to show up to, show their support for Scientology. All right. Now let's take a look at Confident Chris. Like I said, he was on fire. He driving along, minding his business. There is a building where many of the Sea Org members live, and he happened to catch them at the right time where they're all walking and filing into the building, and he shared some information with them. Let's take a look at this. Let's see. This was fantastic. And again, this is Confident Chris with Sea Org members going into what they call their birthing. Their
family out there that miss you, man. All of you guys have family out there that miss you. You guys are all being trafficked. You guys do not need to be doing all this. We got the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation that can help you leave the Sea Org. We got a lot of people that love you out here in the real world. Adults should not be living in here. You guys are all being trafficked. This is very sad to see. The community does not appreciate what you guys are doing. You guys are not saving the world. Please open your eyes. If you guys want to leave, there's people out here that are willing to help you. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. We got people out here that love y'all. Right? Ain't I right? There's no need for you to even be here. I mean, you ain't gonna do nothing. So acting tough, making sure your little sheeps go back inside.
Yeah, they're all just going in. That's where they live, and it is sad. But I'm glad that he did that and reminded them that, hey, people out here love you. There are people who can help you. That's always just a wonderful message to be able to share. And yes, Parallel Jen, I love Chris too. Yes, Auntie Lil, that was awesome. I agree. Melody says definitely exactly like North Korea. Yeah, that correlation is made quite often. Annabelle says he finds the duckies every time. All right, now we're going to look at a clip from Tori MAGOO 44. You know, I love Tori. We love Tori in this community. The woman is a treasure. She has been handing Scientology their butts for decades since she left. Tori once was the person to handle the protesters, and one day she became a protester. She crossed that line. Her eyes were open, and she's been sharing what she knows ever since. You can find content going back years on her channel, and now she's here creating new content, and I love it. And she really brings up a great point here. We're going to take a look at, she spoke with an officer because you know how Scientology has been doing the whole like, hey, our religious services are going on all the time from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night, except for a break for meals. And Tori had a conversation with an officer about this, and it's real interesting. She shares that story. Take a look.
Okay, good. So I'm talking about DOA and what happened to him last night. Thank you very much for my happy Mother's Day wishes. Thank you. And it just, I don't know. It was just unbelievable. So the policeman comes and I say, do you have any children? And he says, no at the time. And I said, well, you will. And then you'll understand why we're really ticked off about this. But I said, are you a Catholic? And he goes, I am. And I said, okay, then you know. I was raised a Catholic, and I told him that. I said, so you know there is no 6-hour mass. The Pope doesn't have a 6-hour mass. And he said, yeah, that's correct. That's not true. And, you know, it was just one of those things where it was like, here's the policeman who knows they're lying, right? And yet
they do. And yet, what do? Yet they still enforce it. Great video, though. Again, links down below to all these videos so you can watch them in their entirety. Tori, she just shares such great stories, too. And she does these MAGOO at midnight videos. She's such a night owl. I love it. So let's take a look. Did you guys catch Daniel from Salem? His stream? If you did not, you are never going to believe who he talked to and had a conversation that went on for quite a long time. Now, we're just going to recap it here and look at a little piece of it, but I recommend you go down and you watch the whole thing. It's very, very interesting because as far as I know, this is the first time she's come out and actually spoken to protesters. Hold on a second. We are going to pull this up. Daniel from Salem had a lengthy conversation with none other than Francoise Koster, the owner of La Poubelle. She came out to have a conversation. Let's look at a little clip.
Yeah, but what about Danny Masterson's wine still being sold?
I don't have number one. There is no wine being sold from him, and he doesn't own a wine company.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't have any. They were saying fallen grape. I do not have this here.
Okay, so it's not in there.
No, I do not.
Okay.
At all, 0, 100%. I could show you my menu of lists. It's not there.
Yeah.
Our menus change all the time. But
Okay.
we don't do orange wine.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because I just thought you had no sympathy at all towards them, towards
Honey,
what happened to the girls.
Listen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been in business this long if I wasn't a caring person. I'm just going to straight up say that.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever happened, I don't know. None of us were there. But I do know that he got convicted.
Yeah.
Okay. He's in prison.
Yeah.
So the conversation goes on for quite some time. Check it out. And I say that before you form an opinion about it, that you watch the whole conversation there. There's a few things she says that surprised me and a couple things not so much, but you guys can watch watch that conversation and make your own decisions about it. And I will say this, I give her credit for coming out and saying something. I think she should have done that a long time ago, but she gets to communicate as well and share things from her point of view. And she did on a few things. I think it's worth a deeper dive into that conversation. We recap here, so I can't get into it now unless we do it on another video, but I'm hoping somebody does. Maybe Aaron will do it. Because there's a lot in there. There's a lot of information in there. And again, that was Daniel from Salem on his stream. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite people, KELLI COPTER. We touched on yesterday that KELLI and a friend were out protesting Scientology in London, and she was outside the testing center there. This video is so great. It's hilarious at times. I am just loving people on the street in London because they just come up with the funniest things. So Oh my gosh, you gotta go watch the thing. We're just gonna go look at a clip of it. And Lara FM, if you're still here, you get a great shout out all the way from London from a fan.
I knew they'd be open. They're liars. They're liars.
Shout out to Lara FM.
Go on, say again.
Shout out to Lara FM. You're a legend.
Yes, Lara FM, we love you. Oh, darling. That song is so good.
You're okay, don't worry.
I think I've been pent up for such a long time at the injustice of what's going on.
Yeah.
Our police have got a terrible reputation here in London, the Met Police. But compared to the LA PD, who
Yeah.
have been
At least we don't have
corrupt since
to.
the late 90s.
Yeah, right.
Oh dear.
At least we don't have to worry about getting shot, right? Over here.
We
It's
hope.
way scarier. We wanted to do chalk. Look how much chalk area there is. But when I rang up the Met, they were like, nah, it's criminal damage. I was like, the hell it is.
It's chalk.
They're
I'd like
liars.
to see the legislation that says
Same,
that.
same. I would like to see it too.
But go check out the video because her live streams just got some great stuff in it. And I love that Lara FM got a great shout out there. It was so great. Kelly does a great job. It's funny. It's just fantastic. I love watching her stream and do that. Absolutely love it. Auntie Lil, do I have the clip about DOA? We did that yesterday and we shared a Youtology clip earlier here in the stream, if that's the one that you're talking about. But if you're talking about something different, let me know there. Let me know there in the chat. Okay, so Ingrid, was that Kevin? Does he have a channel too? Her friend Kevin that was with her. Otherwise, I'm calling him her friend Kevin. But if he has a channel, I would love to shout it out as well. So if anybody knows, please put it in the chat or put it in the comments if you're catching this on the replay. Matt Elliott, MAA, SPTV Canada. We had Lara FM's music playing yesterday in Cambridge. Yes, we're just about to get into a little bit about Cambridge and what happened there because there were multiple protesters out there. And you guys, I love this. You got to see this. Let me pull this up. You guys know Phil Jones. He's got 2 kids in the Sea Org that he and his wife have not seen or had contact with for over a decade, I believe. And he's gotten billboards up in the past and was key in getting the billboard that was up for a hot minute if you're seeking help, if you need help leaving Scientology. But Phil Jones has a channel now here on YouTube, and he was at the protest and live streaming. We saw him at another protest in Canada, but I don't believe he was live streaming there. And the channel is Philip Jones here on YouTube, link down below in the description. But let's look at this. I really loved watching his live stream.
Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so everybody can hear me okay? You can? Okay, great. So anyway, Yvette Shank, head of OSA, powerhouse in Canada, had to have a police escort just to drive her car out the driveway because the protesters were here.
Just that. So the DSA, the OSA person on site, the director of special affairs, needed to have a police escort so she could leave the property. What in the world? Talk about extra. That is beyond extra. But he goes on a little bit more.
So lame. I got a picture of it when she was driving out with the police officer in front of her. But we were chuckling a little bit. And then another guy came out and looked at the sign that I had and said, you need to stop doing that. I'm going to phone somebody. I said, go ahead, phone somebody. I don't care. I said, please do. So this is the front door here, right over. I'll get used to doing all this. And someday I'll buy, oh, there's the front door over there, but then nobody ever goes in there. They all go around the back. They've got a huge parking lot out there. We're counting the people that are coming to the event. So Willie is counting everybody.
Willie is his wife. I think he's going to get a gimbal, he was saying this weekend, but I love that he's doing that he's out there protesting and now that he's live streaming as well. So be sure that you check him out. And it sounded to me, Matt, you tell me, weren't there like 43 people that showed up for this Dianetics event in Cambridge? Is that correct? Anybody else who was there? Tell me in the chat or tell me in the comments. 43 was 18, Matt? No. Okay. I didn't realize this is now, Matt, this is an ideal organization, right? It's one of the ideal orgs in Canada. Is that correct? I thought I heard somebody say that. Okay, so LA and Toronto Scientology audit 43 people, but only 17 public. The rest were staff. Oh my gosh. To a Dianetics anniversary event, which is supposed to be one of the biggest events in Scientology. Wow. No. Oh my goodness. It's the biggest ideal org in Canada. Wow. Wow. Everybody protesting in Canada, your work is like halfway done right there. Wow. That just blows my mind. I mean, 43 was bad with the staff. Wow. Oh my goodness. It just blows my mind. Like I even knew those numbers and now it's still just blowing my mind. Could you see the smoke coming out my hair? Wow. So A388 says Cambridge is in the middle of nowhere. Only reason I see it being there is to recruit from nearby universities. That's true. That would be true. That would make sense. I'm so glad that they counted. That tells you everything you need to know about Scientology and their, they are not straight up and vertical. They are straight up and down. That's what they are. They are not the world's fastest growing religion. They are the world's fastest shrinking religion. Wow. LA and Toronto says we have more people out on a regular day in Toronto. No kidding. When there are more protesters than you have Scientologists showing up, you might want to rethink what you're doing, Scientology. Yep, me and Taz, maybe us Canadians are getting the message. I would say so. Auntie Lil, Clearwater, yeah, they would have had an event. I don't know if they had their Saturdays or a different day. If anybody has seen any coverage from that, though, let me know. Let me know. Oh my goodness. Justine says, I still remember seeing the Dianetics commercial on TV in 83. I think I was walking past the TV, saw the volcano erupt in the corner of my eye and glanced over, but that's all I remember. Ooh, but you glanced at it. So now they're counting you as a Scientologist. Because if you get anywhere close, wow. Yeah, and thank you for those of you in Canada filling us in here. That just blows my mind. That is also for people who are protesting in the United States or even other countries is a great point to bring up. An ideal org, an ideal organization. David Miscavige says, if you build these big, beautiful buildings, they will come. That these are the ideal organizations of Scientology, and they can only get 17, 18 public to show up for what is one of the biggest events of the year in Scientology. It's, you got L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, that big event. You have the May 9th, the anniversary of Dianetics. You have the Auditor's Day. They do a New Year's event if they're still doing that. Wow, that is just fascinating. Yep, eat more pizza. Canadian squirrels working hard. Absolutely. Now let's take a look at something that happened in Denmark. So in Denmark, I was surprised to see this. They must be near a beach, but the people who did the video here that we're going to share, I think it was meant to be a Sea Org wedding, a wedding for Sea Org members. And yeah, it didn't happen. They crashed the wedding and the Sea Org members were going to find another venue, I believe, but let's take a look at this.
I can give you the clear cognition. Goes like this. I've been mocking my own reactive mind all along, and I'm not doing it anymore. Try that. Try that. Saves you a lot of time. Gets you further on the bridge. You don't look like you're clear yet. Try that next time. I've been mucking up my own reactive mind all along, and I'm not doing it anymore.
You guys are pathetic.
We're pathetic. Okay.
Are we? Pathetic. Thank you for the compliment.
Just remember, I've been mucking up my own reactive mind all along, but I'm not doing it anymore. Try it.
It's a happy day. Make people happy.
Yeah, it's nice.
We have a wedding.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love that she shares the clear cognition 2 times. And if you don't know, the clear cognition or realization in Scientology, you pay tens of thousands, if not over $100,000 to get to the point where every single one of us are supposed to have this realization that, oh, wait a minute, I've been mocking up my own reactive mind and I'm not going to do it anymore. I will tell you though, I will tell you. So here's my experience with that. In Scientology, back in my day, children, I did on the bridge to total freedom up through operating Thetan level 4. So I got all into the body Thetans and Xenu. I did not do a lot of the lower steps. A lot of us who grew up in Scientology had this experience where we were told we had gone clear in our last lifetime. And so that was the situation with me, but you still have to do the clear certainty rundown. And basically they're looking for you to voice that realization. And I remember doing so. I don't remember, it's like, but to me, it was more like kind of a common sense thing. Like, well, I mean, these mental image pictures, who else is doing it but me? Who else is creating it but me? I choose, what I look at or I'm not going to look at. But apparently it checked enough of the boxes that they were like, yep, nope, she's clear. Let's get her moving on the bridge to total freedom. So it's always interesting to me, and I think such a great idea to share that clear cognition, because you hear Xenu and body Thetans, that too is confidential in Scientology. Your everyday Scientologist doesn't know about it. And when they hear, like if they caught South Park and they go in to their Scientology handler for some reprogramming and they're like, I saw South Park and they talked about somebody named Xenu and something about body Thetans and oh my goodness. And they're like, sit right here. First, give me $20,000 for your reprogramming. Here's my $20,000. And you go in and you get reprogrammed and you're told that the information that exists outside of Scientology about the upper levels is squirrel, meaning it is altered information. I watch South Park, okay? It's dead on. It is dead on from what I studied on those upper levels. Now, the clear cognition is less heard of. And I've always, maybe because it's more salacious in the media when you talk about an intergalactic overlord named Xenu dumping people into volcanoes and blowing them up with hydrogen bombs. That's sexy. Okay. I get that, right? That's more fun to talk about. But this clear cognition, when you are a Scientologist and you tell a Scientologist there who has not yet gotten there, that's going to create some trouble. Yes, it is, because I don't even know how they actually fix that. They're going to need to go in for more reprogramming, or will they just like back pocket it and then at some point whip it out as a Scientologist and be like, oh, you know what? You know what I realized? Oh my gosh, I've been creating my own reactive mind. I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. So they can save money. Do you think they might do that? I don't know. I think they might. Some of them will probably who hear it, but a lot of them will not. But this is a situation where how Scientology is supposed to handle that. Yeah. Power lies to paralyze. Yeah. Xenu is sexy. The story. You know what I mean? So it's always a good thing. I say and I love in Austin a lot, they'll share the clear cognition. And I mean, I've seen it in so many different places, but I think it's a good one because like I said, everybody outside of Scientology knows about Xenu and body Thetans. But yes, I love what people are doing. Now, reminder, if you see something, say something. It's a clip, it's an article, it's a link to a video. Email me, Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. Tell me what I'm looking at. I really appreciate all of your help when you guys send me things. It also helps me understand. We like to talk about here what has the internet buzzing, and it gives me a feel for all of that, of what people are talking about, because I know what I'm into, but I want to know what you guys are into as well. So what are you all doing today, by the way? I hope everybody gets out there and has an amazing Mother's Day, connect up with your family, because I can tell you this, there's a lot of people in the C organization right now that are not going to be celebrating today, that are likely probably not even going to be calling or contacting their moms on this Mother's Day. And the same goes for Father's Day, because in Scientology, and especially in the C organization, one of the ways they control people is by putting space, distance, cutting them off from their family and their friends who are not in Scientology. It helps maintain that Scientology mindset and mind control. So while you can, if you were out there and you were free to contact your family, do it. Do it. Don't take them for granted, right? All right. So here's what we would like to do here. For some, I can't, Nancy, I can never pull the link up, but I'm going to pull it up here for Eric. Let's go over. Hold on. It looks like Eric Rader is live right now. I don't know where he's headed, but Nancy, we've been trying to, especially on when we start later during the week, we'll start early that not many people are going live at that time, but we're a little later here on the weekend and would love to do a raid, do a good Natalie raid and head over to Eric Rader, where let's see if we can figure out where he's going and show him some love, jump into his chat there. Where's he going? Where you going, Eric? Where you going?
Show people.
Turn the volume on.
Because, like I said, there's, realistically, we have 0.0 chance of getting people to help us if they think they're going to have to fight gangbangers and go to jail by Thursday, if they hang out with us, right?
So he's talking about that whole incident. And I know earlier he said he was going to get out and do some flyers and chalk tech. So if you guys are staying online, hop over to Eric Rader. Let's go do a big Natalie raid and show him some good love. In the meantime, everybody, I hope you get out and have the most amazing, actually, hold on. I got to remove this first. Protocol. We got protocols here at Scientology Life After a Cult. Everybody get out there and have the most amazing cult-free day.